Any searches for spirographs is bound to turn up some references to something called wild gears. While these two products look similar, there are enough differences, particularly when it comes to price, that I thought anyone thinking about ordering a set of wild gears would appreciate a side-by-side comparison. This deluxe spirograph set cost $17 in April of 2017 and arrived in 2 days from Amazon.com. This full sheet basic set of the wild gears cost $85 at the same time and arrived in 4 days. This is really remarkable because this isn't from Amazon, this is from the manufacturer, and these are made to order. In other words, you place your order and then they make the set and then they mail it out to you. So just 4 days for this, I thought was pretty good. The Spirograph comes with a very nice storage case and a thorough set of instructions, which are really much better than you might expect. The wild gears come with nothing, no instructions, no storage case. This storage case is a little flimsy, thin plastic, but it's actually quite functional and very important. The plastic gears have teeth that can be very easily damaged. A carry case like this prevents them from banging around against the side of a box or something and getting broken. All of the Spirograph gears are molded out of styrene plastic, whereas the wild gears are laser cut out of acrylic sheet. They're both 3 millimeters thick. The Spirograph kit comes ready to go. As soon as you open it up, you can start drawing pictures. The wild gears are attached with contact paper on both surfaces, and you can expect to spend the better part of an hour peeling all this paper off before you ever get to draw your first picture. This deluxe set of Spirograph gears came with 22 different gears. The basic full sheet wild gear set comes with about 40 gears. Perhaps the biggest difference between the two, besides the price, is the size of the gears. The largest image you can draw with a Spirograph using the inside gears is about 2.5 inches. With the wild gears, you can create images up to 8 inches in diameter. I have a couple of suggestions for separating the gears. The first and most important is there are hundreds of little tiny pieces, rings, that will be inside the gears. Be careful that you don't lose any of these. They will be useful in making some of the more complex designs later on. The second is for peeling the paper off of the gears. It can be kind of hard getting an edge started up. What I found works good is very sticky tape. This is aluminum tape. You press it down to the edge, and then when you peel this up, it starts the backing very easily. My final suggestion is probably a little controversial. I recommend leaving the top layer of paper on. This will be the layer that doesn't have any burn marks from the laser. It also has the numbers that indicate how many teeth are in the gears. What I like to do is take a pen and just outline these numbers to make it easier to identify them. Now, I've drawn many pictures with this top layer on, and the gear runs perfectly smoothly. There's no hanging up. The paper is cut as accurately as the plastic gear teeth, so there's no hang up. I do remove the paper from the bottom, however, because if you don't do that, you've got rough paper sliding on rough paper, and the friction against the two is a little hard, and it'll be hard to move your pen smoothly. With the bottom layer taken off, the plastic slides over the paper very easily. It also helps you identify what's going on, because if you take all the paper off both sides, you've got clear plastic meshing with clear plastic on a white background, and it's very difficult to see what's going on. If you leave the paper on the top, you don't have a problem with that. I've zoomed in on a pair of gears about the same size to show some differences in the teeth. The wild gears have teeth that are about 50% larger than the typical Spirograph. Another big difference is that the Spirograph has teeth with straight sides, whereas the wild gears are cut with involute gears. An involute is a curved surface to the face of the tooth, and it allows the gears to move a little bit more smoothly, which is an important feature because the larger gear size of many of the gears in the wild gear set are more difficult to move around when you're working close to the outer gear. So superior gear shape and slightly larger gears go a long way towards making the wild gear a more serious drawing device. I'm not going to do any demonstrations of drawing things either with the Spirograph or the wild gears. There are many of those on YouTube and on the internet available if you're interested. My final evaluation is this. The Spirograph is a great toy, but it's a toy. It makes small patterns and it's very limited in size and designed mainly for children. The wild gears is a serious drawing device, but it's much harder to use. Because many of the gears are larger, the torque caused by the drag on the gears makes it harder to keep the gears meshed together, even though the gears are larger than with the Spirograph. You really have to pay attention with the wild gears. You can't just crank away like you can with a Spirograph. But if you like drawing machines, the challenge of making very complex patterns, and this can do much more complex designs than the Spirograph can, then the wild gears set, even though it's 4 times as much as a Spirograph, might be something that you would be interested in purchasing. I know I spent $85 on it that I could ill afford, and yet I feel that I got good value for my money. But then again, I like drawing machines. Whether this is good enough for you, I leave that up for you to decide. Either way, I hope you found this informative and interesting, and thank you for watching.